Is it just me, or does the MCU really need a hearty sprinkling of doom after the Infinity Saga? No, I'm not talking about general mayhem and destruction here. I'm talking about the kind of doom with a PhD. Dr. Victor Von Doom, to be exact. Not only does he have one of the best last names out there, even by comic book standards, he's one of the greatest fictional villains of all time, and now could be the perfect time to get him on the big screen. We all have our own thoughts on the purple behemoth known as Thanos and how successful he was as a villain. Whether you found his motivation for collecting the Infinity Stones compelling or not, there's no denying that he got the entirety of the MCU into action. Well, once Hawkeye finally took a break from spending time with his family after they turned to dust, of course. Anyway, the Mad Titan was a powerful villain who played for high stakes, and if we ever want to have another major movie event like the Infinity Saga, we'll need someone to take his place. Someone who has the potential to threaten the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Or should I say the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. Terrorizing one boring old timeline is old news. We need a villain who can intimidate alternate realities that we haven't even seen yet. And hey, what do you know? We're getting a movie about the multiverse in Phase 4. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We know the Scarlet Witch will be making an appearance, but whether she's a friend or foe remains to be seen. However, according to Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige, we can expect to see a mystery character join the cast. Apparently, it's someone comic book fans have wanted to see in the MCU for quite a while, which pretty much only eliminates maybe a asbestos lady? Although if she does have fans, I'm sure they'll reveal themselves in the comments section. Feige also said that this will be someone we don't expect, which makes me think Nightmare may not appear as the antagonist, or at least that he won't be the sole threat to the MCU. Since he was originally going to appear in the first Doctor Strange, he'd been a popular pick for who the acting Sorcerer Supreme will face off against in the sequel. But based on Feige's comments, it seems as though we should be expecting the unexpected, and this could mean that Doom is headed for the MCU.
I gotta sing the Doom song now!
Okay, not that kind of Doom. A much scarier kind of Doom. Yeah, I'm talking about the infamous Victor Von Doom, who is a strong contender for mystery character in Multiverse of Madness. To paraphrase Dwight Schrute, he's the character I most medium suspect, making him a solid pick. The idea of an unexpected character makes me think it's not someone frequently associated with Doctor Strange, which eliminates the sorceress Cleo, who will reportedly appear in the film. Maybe Doctor Strange will end up encountering the classic Fantastic Four villain, Doctor Doom. And don't get me wrong, although he's most often associated with Marvel's first family, Doctor Doom is an outright universe and possibly multiverse-threatening villain. He's one of the most brilliant minds in Marvel, and his scientific prowess is well known since he has a rivalry with Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, that goes all the way back to their school days. But don't forget that Doom is pretty much a double major in science and magic. It's possible that Multiverse of Madness will explore the mystical side of Doom's power instead of adding yet another science bro to the already stacked MCU lineup. What's so great about Doctor Doom? Well, besides his undeniably awesome name, he's a complex and compelling character. He's brilliant, he's talented, and charismatic enough to attract followers. His brain may be one of his greatest assets, but it can also be a weakness, since he has a fragile ego, especially where his rivalry with Mr. Fantastic is concerned. There's also another element of Doctor Doom that I think makes him work well both as a character and as a possible addition to the MCU, and that is his level of power. Some fans have criticized the MCU for overpowering some heroes while underpowering those who are totally OP in the comic books. But one of the many good things about Doctor Doom is that his power has changed over the years depending on his level of advancements and current circumstances. Once he was a disgraced scientist dreaming of world domination, and much later he was known as God Emperor Doom, which is one doozy of a title, although one well earned. If the MCU introduces a villain with the capacity to be worse than Thanos, fans are gonna wonder where they've been all this time. Some heavy hitters like Galactus hail from outer space, which explains why our Earth-centric heroes haven't encountered them before. But Doom could have been hiding in plain sight all this time, gradually amassing power and eventually becoming the nearly unstoppable evil powerhouse that fans know he can be. If Doctor Doom is looking for magic, this could easily put him in the path of Doctor Strange, or possibly Karl Mordo, who vowed to destroy all magic users after feeling betrayed by the Ancient One. In the comics, Doom's mother was a sorceress sorceress whose soul was eventually imprisoned by Mephisto, and he went on a journey to master the mystic arts and free her. It took some assistance from Doctor Strange for him to succeed, and this is something that we could see play out in Multiverse of Madness. Although I hardly expect these two magic users to play nice for very long. We've also seen Doctor Doom manipulate Wanda Maximoff to push his own agenda and use her reality-warping powers for evil. Since the Scarlet Witch will be appearing in Multiverse of Madness and it looks like things are going to be wacky, wild in WandaVision, maybe this storyline will be adapted for the MCU. We've been waiting for the Fantastic Four to enter the fray for what seems like forever, and now that Disney has the rights to them characters, it can finally happen. But introducing Marvel's first family and a top-tier enemy like Doctor Doom in a single film might be way too much all at once. Just think about how long Thanos spent lurking and sitting in weird floating chairs just waiting for a proper introduction to the MCU. You can't rush this kind of terrible, terrible greatness, which is why it might make sense for Doctor Doom to make his debut first and ramp up his powers in time to face the Fantastic Four later on. We don't know much about Multiverse of Madness yet, but it's possible Doom will encounter Doctor Strange on his quest for knowledge of the mystic arts, either on purpose or incidentally, and then discover Wanda's powerful potential. This could see him turning heel in a single film, and considering how powerful Wanda is, he could threaten the entire multiverse on his quest for power. Doom isn't quite the mystic powerhouse Doctor Strange is in the comics at first, but the MCU version of the character might start out way more advanced in this regard. Or he'll be able to fill the gaps in his mystical knowledge with scientific know-how and use that method to terrorize the multiverse. This could also tie into changes many fans suspect are coming in regards to Wanda's character. When she made her debut, the word mutant was forbidden in the MCU, since Fox owned the rights to the X-Men among other characters. So her powers were attributed to the Mind Stone, and it seems like the witch part of her name is a bit of a creativity rather than a nod to any actual magic in the MCU. Since she's starring in a movie with Doctor Strange, that could be quickly changing, and it's possible Phase 4 and beyond will feature more fantastical characters instead of primarily relying on movie science and slapping the word quantum in front of everything. Introducing Doctor Doom and emphasizing his ability as a spellcaster could be a sign that big changes are coming to the MCU, especially since we've said goodbye to less fantastical characters like Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow. And before you skewer me in the comments section, I mean fantastical in terms of their superhuman abilities and not their general awesomeness. Captain America got a boost from the super soldier serum, but that's a far cry from characters like Captain Marvel who can punch spaceships to smithereens and Scarlet Witch who can do whatever this is.
Wanda, welcome home.
Doctor Doom appearing in Multiverse of Madness would be amazing, and frankly, I'd settle for a mere cameo or some heavy-handed clues about his existence as long as they don't join the graveyard of Marvel movie plot points that never went anywhere. That's because I have big ideas for the character that extend far beyond this singular film. Thanos got to lurk in the background for 3 full phases of movies, so I'm not expecting someone like Doctor Doom to be a one-and-done villain. In the comics, Doctor Doom is a member of the Cabal, a group of smart, powerful villains who generally oppose the will of the Illuminati, which is a group of smart, powerful heroes. This supervillain team started out with Norman Osborn, Namor the Submariner, Emma Frost, Loki, the Hood, and of course, Doctor Doom himself. While Victor Von Doom is terrifying enough on his own, with some backup he'd be even more unstoppable. And then there's the Secret Wars, which involved an incursion event which saw the multiverse destroyed and Doom seized the power of the Beyonders to establish a new planet. Naturally, Doom ruled his battle world with an iron fist, or whatever kind of metal he covers his fists with. When some heroes from Earth 616 who weren't subject to his memory wipe showed up, Doom didn't exactly take the challenge to his reign very well. Not only did our heroes have to defeat God Emperor Doom, but they had to deal with the daunting task of restoring the multiverse.
Because that's what heroes do.
Thanos managed to wipe out half of all life in the universe, which is a good starting point, but let's think bigger. What about a villain desperate to create his own version of reality, who isn't above sacrificing the entire multiverse to do so? Not only does the next big baddie of the MCU have to be powerful, but they also have to be interesting enough to capture our interests. And the brilliant yet intensely flawed Doctor Doom definitely fits the bill. Having him appear during Phase 4 would be an excellent way to get fans even more excited about what happens next from Phase 5 and beyond. And let's not forget, we can also get excited about seeing our favorite comic book characters on the small screen. If Doctor Doom departs from the main MCU timeline, it's possible he could appear in a show in addition to his time in film. He's lived enough adventures for several lifetimes in the comics, so if Marvel's looking for an often sympathetic yet more often evil character, this could be the perfect pick. His appearance in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness could mean big things for the multiverse and the future of the franchise. So, what do you think about the inimitable Doctor Doom joining the MCU as the next great villain? Do you think this fictional multiverse is ready to feel the wrath of Doom, or is there another big baddie you're hoping to see first? Let us know what you're hoping to see next in the comments section down below, and make sure to click that subscribe button for more videos from us here at CBR. As always, thanks a lot for watching.